Dear you, did life take an unexpected turn? A turn that left you unsure of your future? Did you have to make a couple sacrifices along the way just so you could quickly adjust? Or are you someone that's looking to transform that pain into purpose, but you're not sure where to start, how to start? If this is you, sounds like you, or you're interested, you are in the right place, girl, because you and I have a lot to talk about. If you're new here, my name is Juliani Ayala, and if you're not, welcome back to the Sincerely Giuliani channel, a channel dedicated to making personal letters just for you. I'm so happy that you're here today because I have someone very, very special for you all to meet. It's an honor that she's here today. I know that she has a busy schedule, but I'm so happy that she found the time to be here. So without further ado, please welcome my cousin, Jessica Nieves.
Hey girl.
Hey. So if you don't know who she is, Jessica is, I got my little intro right here, a woman that wears many different hats. She's a mother, a wife, a real estate professional, a Disney adult. You can't forget that one. You can't. And most importantly, an advocate for stroke survivors. Jess is the kind of woman that carries truth and wisdom in every conversation she's a part of. In January 2022, her life turned upside down when her little sister, Jennifer, suffered from a life changing stroke. Eager to spread awareness and showcase her sister's recovery journey, Jessica launched the Hike for Jenny Foundation. Thanks to the love and support from our friends and family, the foundation is in the process of becoming a nonprofit organization. Hey, girl.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. How
I'm so
are
happy.
you?
I'm good. I'm so happy that you're here today.
I'm so happy to be here.
Oh,
Finally.
like I feel like we've been talking so much, like just about ideas for the foundation, just life in general, and it's finally coming into life now. Today's topic, before we get into it, is going to be a very personal and touchy subject for not only her but for the both of us. So if you get a little teary eyed, it's okay. This is what we're here for. We're here to get real. We're here to talk. But again, thank you for making the time in your busy schedule to be here. I'm so happy. So yeah, let's get into it. So, from the many different hats that you wear, real estate professional, mother, wife, daughter, sister, how do you manage wearing the many hats that you do?
Um, that's a loaded question.
Yeah, you have a
But
loaded life.
I know. um, I think what just keeps me going is basically my faith.
Yeah.
I rely on God to give me the strength and the just like the momentum, and I get a lot of ideas from him, and of course therapy.
Shout out therapy.
Yes. So, I mean, it gets hard, and people don't see like the back end of things, how it affects my family, how it affects my mental health, my children, but just the way I look at it is that it's my purpose. And I think when you walk in purpose, you just always keep going. And my purpose has come from my faith. So that's how I just keep going, because it doesn't feel like work to me. It doesn't feel like a burden. It's just something that I was called to do. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, when you became a real estate professional, walk us through what those early days looked like for you. What sacrifices and risks did you have to take to be where you are today?
So I've been in real estate for a long time. So my background is in affordable housing. So my career has always been, housing, real estate. I got my real estate license when I was maybe like 8 weeks pregnant with my daughter 10 years ago. But then I got a federal job and I couldn't, practice it because of my job. But during COVID, that's when I started investing. I married really young at 25, and I bought my first home at 24. So early on, I always knew that this was the field that I loved, and I always wanted to own properties. So we did this very young. We were very traditional in the sense where we bought our house and then we moved in together. We renovated it. So when I think of real estate in the early days, I'll talk about like COVID. So COVID hits and we buy our first property after like 7 months after my baby was born. And we just kind of sacrificed our time. We couldn't really go out that much.
Yeah.
Money was, tight sometimes because we were putting everything into our investment properties. But I think the early days were more like a grind.
Yeah.
Like it was, I mean, it's always a grind when we buy a new
always
property.
start from the bottom.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
always start from the bottom, but I feel like the early days were like kind of like, okay, what are we doing? Like, is this gonna work? This fear. But then after we did our first one, our second one came, then our third, then our fourth, and it got a little easier, but it's still kind of like you still get that same like adrenaline rush where it's like, okay, we're really doing this? Like, what are we doing? How is it going to work? So the early days were tough because it's a lot of sacrifice.
Especially during COVID.
Especially during COVID and after being 7 months postpartum. It's a lot of family time was sacrificed. There was a lot of things that we had to give up in order to kind of like move forward with, the dream of being, real estate investors and having all this stuff that we had to kind of like put our effort in instead of like going out to parties and doing all the things that we wanted to do. But, it's just a sacrifice you do for something that you really want,
Yeah. And if you're comfortable with talking, I know you recently left your federal job. I know that was a big sacrifice.
Yeah.
What made you finally take that step after working there for so long?
So I had been working at with the federal government for about 8.5 years.
Right.
After Jenny had her stroke,
Yeah.
kind of like my focus shifted.
Yeah.
I had already 4 properties at that time. We were renovating our 4th one. And it was kind of like I was getting to the point where if I bought another property, then I would have to consider leaving the job because it was a conflict of interest, what I was doing in the real estate world and in the government world. So I was already on the fence saying, I don't know if I want to be here. But with the new administration coming in and all the changes in the federal government, it kind of was a blessing in disguise because it pushed me to kind of really dig deep and really, really look within myself to say, I have a lot more to offer than I can offer at this job. And it just made me look real deep. It was a sacrifice. It's scary.
Yeah.
But at the time I was working with my business coach. Shout out to Amy. And we had that in the works. Like it was like 6 months. Like she's like, we're going to give you 6 months. We got to get you out this job. And I'm like, okay, I don't think that's going to happen, but whatever. And it literally happened in 2 months.
Yeah.
Right? Because my whole mindset like shifted and I was like, you know what? Like I said, I can offer a lot more than I can offer to the federal government.
Yeah.
So at that point, I was like, too many changes with the government. It's getting too sticky here. Like it's getting way too out of control.
Girl, you would have been laid off right now.
I mean, I wouldn't have been laid off, but I would have definitely been swamped. I mean, right now, I wouldn't be working.
Yeah, with the shutdown and everything. You would have been home.
Exactly. But, that's what pushed me. It was kind of like, as much as I fought it and I didn't want to do it, it was a blessing in disguise. And that's the whole point of, I think, my life, right? like finding those blessings and just running with them.
Because everything happens
For a
for
reason.
a reason.
Yes.
I will always say that. God
Mm-hmm.
will never make a mistake in your life.
No.
Like, whatever decision you make is going
Mm-hmm.
to be the decision for you. And I know you've
And
been scared, and I
yeah.
know you're like, ugh, like, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know, but like
Yeah,
outside
but we
looking
have
in,
conversations, and I think
yeah,
my close family and friends know. But I
yeah,
honestly, in my faith, I truly, truly believe, and God makes no mistakes. Yes, no, He does not.
mm-hmm.
However, He already sees what we're going to go through, right? But it's our job to kind of take what we're given and making that the best of whatever it is we're given to push into what his purpose is for me, right?
Yeah.
So everything I've done in my life now, I could truly say like, wow, he was preparing me for like all of it, you know? And I don't know half the things that are going to happen, you know? I'm
No,
not
nobody does.
No, we don't know, right? The future's still being written, but
Mm-hmm.
he sees it
Mm-hmm.
and he's preparing me. So every single thing I take and every single thing I get, every single person that comes in my life, I'm like, you're here for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And if you step out, then you have to go for a reason too.
Yeah.
So every person, every circumstance, every blessing, everything is there's a reason for it. And I truly believe that.
I do too.
Now.
Yeah, I feel like you have to go through these
Yeah.
things to actually
Mm-hmm.
really believe that.
Yeah.
So if you're comfortable with sharing,
Mm-hmm.
what was it like for you as the older sister of Jenny when you heard that she had a stroke? Where were you in life when this happened, and how did you adjust?
So as an older sister, obviously it was devastating, right? Because
Yeah.
it's like I didn't know she had a stroke
Mm-hmm.
right in the beginning. I just got a phone call saying, hey, Jenny's heading to the hospital. I didn't know. But then when I got the news that she had a stroke, I was like, how does that happen?
So young.
She's so young. She's so healthy. Like,
She was 33 years old, to be exact, when she had her stroke.
right.
And if you can, like, explain, I don't really know how strokes work, like if there's different types of stroke or
Mm-hmm.
anything like that. But explain when you get the chance, like her condition now too, so people fully understand how life-changing
Yeah.
this was.
So before her stroke, she was like any other 33-year-old, right? She was single. She was living her life. She was healthy. She was the girl everybody wanted to be. Like, everybody
wanted to
was
be
like,
her.
how does she do what she does? Like,
I wanted to be her.
yeah. So, you know,
Be
she
like
was just
her.
yeah, she was living her life, and
Yeah.
she was living it to the fullest, like
She was.
nobody's business. But so in her case, like, I'm not a medical professional, obviously.
Right.
But she basically had a blood clot. And as the doctor described it, anybody can have a blood clot. And this can happen to anybody at any time, even children, infants in the womb. Like, you could have a stroke at any time. It's
Yeah.
not just for the elderly or, whatever.
Right.
So she had a blood clot, and it shot into her brainstem, and it basically cut off blood to her brainstem, and then she, now she's unable to speak, move, walk. So I mean, now with all the therapies that she does, she's able to kind of, she's still the same person, thank God.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't like.
Mm-hmm.
Some strokes affect your cognitive
Yeah.
abilities, but for her, it was more like her limbs, her speech,
Yeah.
her breathing, her
Mm-hmm.
vision, stuff like that, which is still as bad.
Yeah.
But as she gets stronger, it's coming along. That she's had a lot of progress where it's like, okay,
She has.
we see it coming. We just have to be faithful. We just have to
Mm-hmm.
wait.
Mm-hmm.
But as an older sister, not knowing what she was gonna go through, right? I'm like, oh, she'll have a stroke. Maybe her left arm, her right arm won't work. But it's devastating.
Right.
Because it's like, you see your little sister the way she was, and I'm like, what? Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
But I was at the point, I was living on the Cape, and we were renovating our fourth property or whatever, fourth property. And when I got the call, I was literally painting. I was renovating with my husband. I shot up to my mom's house, and that's where I was in my life, right? I was going back and forth to the Cape, and I'll be honest that when Jenny had her stroke, I literally was like, sell everything. I care less. Like, I don't want to do this. Like, I don't care. But obviously that happens when you're grieving,
Yeah.
and you're literally getting this news and you don't know how it's going to affect your life. You just know that you have to be there now. And like, it was devastating, but through therapy, it took a while, right? Like a year and some change for me to kind of like get it together.
Yeah.
And obviously, you never have it together. Who really has it together? Like, if people say they have it together, they're lying. None of us have it together. No. But it quickly came. It quickly came to me that like I'm the older sister.
Yeah.
And because of the way I was raised and brought up, and this is all stuff that came up through therapy, right? My childhood, everything. I was raised to be a fixer. That's just who I am. And then it quickly dawned on me that I'm like, oh, I gotta fix this. Like, I have to do something to help my parents. My father was retired. My mom was in between jobs. And I'm like, what are we gonna do? So that's how the Hike for Jenny came about.
Yeah.
And that literally came about because I was like, I have to do something in her honor. Like, I can't, and we raised money, and it just became a thing. So I quickly had to adjust.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I know, like, for me, it was my freshman year, spring semester. Just moved in from winter break, I think it was. Yeah, it was in January. And I got the call, and I remember like watching her stories the week before. This girl was like in Miami the week before. And that just shows you how quickly life can change for anybody. And it was honestly devastating because I was far away. I was in Amherst and in school, and then classes started the next day, and I was just away from you guys. And it was hard because Jenny, like, she was literally my role model, and she still is. She was a news reporter, and I remember I was like, I want to be on TV too, like Jenny. Like, when I was in high school, when I was young, like, I want to be like her. And she traveled so much, and to think that your life can change in an instant and change like that forever is devastating. And I can only imagine what that's like for you as the older sister. Right. But from outside looking in, I've seen you grow and manage everything from like your professional life to your mom life to, your personal life and everything. And that is honestly a blessing, because not everybody can do what you did and what you are doing. Because to have this unexpected turn in your life and then not know what to do because you have so much going on, like with yourself and everything, it's a lot to manage. And not everybody can do that. Like, people, I'm sure a lot, I can't speak for you, like, people were probably like angry at their God, like, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? And they're probably stuck, and they probably don't know how to deal with that. Right. So, are you crying?
No, girl. Not yet. Not yet. I'm about to.
Not yet. Okay, I will get.
I'm like, not yet. I'm not crying.
It's okay to cry. We got little tissues back here if you need some.
If you want to cry, you could cry. I'm not
I
crying.
don't want to cry.
I am not crying.
No, I got good makeup on today. But You know, when I was in Amherst and I seen kind of like, I didn't know how serious her condition was until I came home. And you know, like her being in the wheelchair and you know, it's what's the syndrome? Locked in syndrome.
Yeah.
Locked in syndrome. That's when you basically are
Locked
very
in your body.
locked in your own body. You know everything that's happening. You're very aware, but you can't move. You can't speak. So it's like I remember like the early days when she first had it, like where we were, like everybody was just we were just like all like just living in chaos. Like I know she had like a tube. She started with her tube, but now she's eating by herself.
Yeah.
And it's just like the growth is, you know, it's slowly but surely happening. And I have faith. Even though like being told by doctors that there's no chance, I don't believe in that. I've seen her, you know, I am also her personal care assistant too. Her and I, we've been spending a lot of time together. We be cracking up. We be watching binge watching TV shows and everything like that. And I've seen
And gossiping.
and gossiping.
Monday nights, hey.
Bro, even though she can't talk, she has a lot to say.
Oh, yes, she does.
Girl, she does. But it's actually beautiful, like how even herself, like she's still showing up and pulling through all her therapy and her workouts. Like it's a blessing. Not everybody can do that. And I think it's honestly, we're blessed to have the family and the friends that we do, and also like the support system that she has herself. So I was rambling on a bit, but I guess my next question is transforming that pain into purpose. That's what we're here to talk about today. Transforming our pain to a purpose, maybe not even knowing what that purpose is, how to go about it. It's challenging, but what was it that gave you that courage to start this foundation, and how do you hold on to your belief that it'll keep growing? I know we are now in the works of transitioning the foundation into a nonprofit organization. So if you want to talk about that too, feel free.
So it took a while. I'm not going to say like, oh yeah, I just took the pain and transformed it into like this
No.
huge thing, because
Right.
it's still painful, right?
Yeah.
Every day I have to be strong for my sister. And but every day I am reminded that like God has us here for a reason. Jenny's here for a reason. You're here for a reason. And everybody around us, all the support, it's here for a reason. And that reason is bigger than us. I often feel like or think that we get so caught up in ourselves that we forget that life isn't about us. It's really not.
It's not.
It's really not.
It's not. And that's just the unfortunate truth.
And but we're human, right?
Yeah.
Like I just honestly feel like we think like my business is like my business. I'm going through this, I'm going through that, and I'm the most important. No, you're not, right? So I have a lot going on, but I tell myself, you are not that important that you cannot make time to help another individual. Regardless of what we have going on, we have the time and the ability to give. And that's the truth. Like that's my foundation. I am a servant. I'm here to give. And not everybody has that, and I totally understand that. However, I feel like that has been my calling since I was little. But with Jenny, you know, that pain, it, like I said, it's still painful. However, I quickly learned that these strokes, they're not flashy. Like this isn't something people want to talk about. People don't want to talk about how grief works when you're working with someone's life that has changed. They don't want to talk about that. They don't want to see it. They don't want to deal with it, right? I was one of those people. Like always my fear was to have someone disabled that I had to care for, because I didn't think my heart was strong enough to deal with that, right? But I quickly learned that it's okay. We'll get through it, right? So the way it took a while, but I just with my therapist, shout out to Jessica. She's amazing, and she kind of coached me and really like helped me heal some things. When I started therapy, I couldn't even say Jenny's name, let alone talk about no hike. I couldn't even believe what was coming out of my mouth. But with time, I quickly realized, like, you know what, this is something that I can grow. And that's where the Stroke of Light Foundation has been born from, right? At first, the first 4 years, it's been tough. Like, we've been doing things just for Jenny and like, but we also realize that a lot of people are going through this, and we can do a lot of good
Yeah.
and give back to those who have given to us.
Yeah.
So,
So I know for those of you that probably are very close with me or are very, what is it? Y'all know what I post and everything. Jenny, the foundation started, so the Hike for Jenny Foundation, every year we do a hike since her stroke. And we actually just had
fourth hike.
her fourth hike this past weekend. And it was beautiful, honestly. The amount of people that come up and show out every single year, it's beautiful, because this is what we are doing to honor my cousin, to honor your sister, to honor our friend, our family member, through something that she used to love doing. And it was honestly beautiful, because this was actually the first hike that I joined since the first one, because I've been in school and I've been swamped with everything. And, I will admit, I was kind of, obviously, like, my feelings and everything that I go through is nothing compared to what you go through. But being away, like, at school and kind of just setting, like, my cousin had a stroke, and then not being around her and not spending time with her as much as I would like to, I was just like, damn, I carried that guilt with me, because I'm like, damn, like you said, I'm not that important. It's okay to help other people. But it was honestly very, very heartwarming to see how many people still show up every single year for this foundation. Right. So when we raise money for this foundation, it goes towards Jenny's funding, like for her van, for her therapy, her medication, and everything like that. So I didn't really have a question written down, but if you want to talk about like what that was like for you, kind of just, did you come up with the Hike for Jenny Foundation? And I know Jenny consulted with, not consulted, but she obviously talked to you about some things about what she wanted. Like, what was that starting process for the foundation like in the beginning?
So the Hike for Jenny, it was just a hike.
It was just a hike.
It's just a hike, and to help her, because obviously when you get devastating news,
right,
the doctors make it clear, like, this is going to be expensive, you're going to need this, you're going to need that. So
yeah,
me being the businesswoman I am and always having a plan, I was like, okay, I got to figure this out. And I will be damned if my parents are like
no,
like not even no, or like not burdened, but I don't know how to say it. Like
I think I know what you mean.
Like I don't want them to struggle, right?
Yeah.
They've been such amazing parents, and they've worked so hard that I couldn't let that happen. So the Hike for Jenny came about, one, for that.
Yeah.
But the most important part was to gather people and just have this hike for her to kind of like just get together and just like give her that, and do something that she loved. Because I was like, I don't want anybody to forget my sister. So I want everybody to get together. We're going to hike. We're going to do what she loved to do. And we're going to continue that until she can join us. Yeah. So it just started like that. And then, I raised a couple $1,000, like $30,000.
Flex.
And I was like, oh, okay, I could do this.
Like, and then, when you seen how much money you raised, that must have gave you a lot of hope. Because I remember when I was about to donate my little money, I was like, guys, I'm a college student. I'm going to donate like $20, $30, $50.
And that's
And then
okay.
you know, something. But when I seen that, I was like, girl, my girl is that girl. And that must have gave you a lot of hope when you were like, we can get this going, especially as like from a businesswoman perspective.
Well, I was at that point. I was like, all right, we could do this.
Yeah.
Like, she's gonna need a lot of care, a lot. So we got the van, we got her into Journey Forward, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna continue to pay this because I know my parents can't pay this out of pocket. Imagine your family, like anybody. Imagine your family living so comfortably, right? Everybody's like good. You traveling, you're doing this, you're doing that, and boom, your loved one has something like this, and you have to pay about $25,000 just to get her therapy a year, additional to your lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
And that was my thought. I'm like, that's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
to me, such a devastating event in someone's life should not cause an entire family to struggle like that. So that's where the stroke for light, which Jenny came up with, she came up with that name. That's where that stemmed from. Because I was like, the same way I fundraised for my family, we could do this through a foundation and help others. So when it was like a year or two in, and I was like, hey guys, like, I want to start a foundation. And this had been something that my parents wanted to do anyway from back in the day.
They wanted to start a foundation.
Yeah, we just wanted to do like the Martinez Foundation and just help like people get into college. And you know, my parents are big on college.
Yeah,
So
they are.
we always wanted to start something like that as a family. But then I was like, okay, this is,
I didn't even know that.
yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
when I brought it up to them, they're like, yeah, let's do it. And I like to joke around like, oh, the older sister's like the family manager. Like, legit, anything I say, my parents are like, okay, let's do it. Or my sister backs me up. I could say, let's go run into this burning house, and she'd be like, all right. And I'm like, why do you got my back like that? Like,
That's just what
but
family
that's what it
do.
is, right? So me as the older sister, I'm like, okay, let's do this. This is what I want to do. And then they're like, oh yeah, okay, let's do it, whatever. So when I told Jenny, she was racking her brain, and then 4:00 in the morning one day, I guess she got this idea of the stroke of light. And then when I got to the house, she's like, I have the name. And that's where that came from. So that's the whole purpose of the foundation. The hike for Jenny will always be Jenny's hike, right?
Yeah.
That's where we're going to gather, and we're going to be like, this is for Jenny. One day she's going to be hiking with us. The stroke for light is the foundation where we are going to give that same love and support that we were given back to those families that have been destroyed because of something like a stroke or anything that has locked people into their bodies that they can no longer take care of themselves. We want to help them because we know the process now. I wish we didn't, but that's what was in our cards. And I'm a firm believer God gives you things and he just turns everything into good, and this is our good. He's gonna allow us to give that back.
Yeah.
So
Wow, I'm like, I'm in awe. I try not to get teary eyed because wow. You know, because it's like, even though y'all are my family and you guys are older and stuff, like I
I ain't that
learned.
old.
She's not that old, y'all. But yeah, even though you guys are my family, there's only so much that I can learn about you all. And I feel like through conversations like these, like now that I'm graduated, I'm back home, I'm Jenny's PCA, like a lot of my work shifts be like, we be real komai, just catching up. And people are probably watching this and they're like, how does Jenny communicate? She has a communication board, and each row has obviously the letters. So row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, A, B, C, D, la, 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 la. That's how she communicates. So we take the time to understand her.
Right.
And she will, right? Oh. Don't do that. Don't do that. Jenny will say something if she got to say something.
And she will come at you. I always,
I'd be like, Jenny,
girl,
am I your favorite PCA? She said, no.
no. Girl, I always say this, and I will never forget this for the rest of my life. She would legit have a silent argument with you. Who you laughing? You laughing over there?
No, I'm just laughing, period.
Oh.
Because she really would. So when Jenny
Yeah.
has something to say, she blinks her eyes. That indicates she needs a communication board. And then when she looks up, that's yes. And when she looks down, that's no. So we will take the time. It'd be so funny when she has to say a joke. So it's just like, we're like, wait,
Mad
what are you
long.
saying? A, B, and she's trying to hold her laughing. It'd be so funny because it's just like moments like that. Like she's still, sometimes she'd be laughing to herself and I'd be like, you want to share? She'd be like, no. Like it's little moments like that that make you happy, you know?
And you know what? The thing is that people see her
Yeah.
and they see her struggle,
Yeah.
right? And that's usually what happens with people.
Mm-hmm.
You see a person, but you don't see their happy times, right? Like
Yeah.
you're only seeing like what they're struggling with. People don't tend to talk about their happy moments, which is sad. However, we tend to focus on the bad, right? So when you see
Yeah.
Jenny, it's like you're focusing on the wheelchair, the way she's different, all this, but she is the same exact person. She will cut you off, like
And cuss you out.
she will cuss you out. She literally at the hospital one day spelled out STFU to my mom. My mom called me. What does this mean? She keeps saying, I'm like, girl.
She's telling you shut the fuck up. Oops, sorry.
I was like, I saw her the next day. I was like, Jenny, girl, you can't move. She about to slap you. Like, but that's the thing, right? She's still the same person. And
That's what locked in syndrome is. You're
Yeah.
still you. And
yeah, and that's what I want to focus on. That's what we want to focus on through the foundation too, you know?
Yeah.
We want to focus on people and their recovery. We want to make that recovery happy.
Yeah.
We want to focus on their caregivers.
Yeah.
You know, I would love to do more with the caregivers because I see my mom as primary caregiver and how she's sacrificed her entire life. She's not the only person in this world that does that. There's so many more people.
Yeah.
And, you know, if we could help one or two a year, we're good. Like, at least we did that. But it's like, that's what it is, you know? They're still the same people. Like, you show up and everybody appreciates it, right? But we also understand that everybody has their own lives. And yes, I say I'm not that important. I could help somebody else. I say that. However, I understand that everybody has a struggle and no one's struggle is bigger than anybody else's.
Yeah.
So we just work together, you know?
Mm-hmm. So that leads to my next question, actually. So what started as wanting to help your family turned into advocating for an even bigger community, the disabled community. What message do you have for families that may be in a similar position to us? I know you kind of talked about it, but if you want to have a message to them, go ahead.
I guess my message would be that they're not alone. There's people that understand your struggle and people that are willing to help. And sometimes when we go through these things, it's like grief. In grief, we tend to isolate ourselves where like we'll be grieving and we want to stay home, right?
Yeah.
We want to stay home. We don't want to be around people because we don't want them to ask us about things or whatever. But I want to put out that message that regardless of what you're feeling, we can make space for you, right? Even if it's paying for you to go get your nails done or paying for your loved one to maybe get something that they need. They need soap, a special soap that the insurance won't pay. We'll pay for that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the message. Like, you're not alone. just because we look like we're doing big things, it doesn't mean we're not grieving. We're still with you. We're still in that space. And that will never change until my sister walks again, right? But that's the point, that regardless, we have the joy that she's still here.
Yeah.
So we move forward.
Mm-hmm. What goals and visions do you have, if you don't mind talking about it, for Stroke of Light? Like, how do you envision the Stroke of Light to be when it actually becomes that nonprofit organization?
So right now it's small.
Yeah.
Right
That's how
now,
it starts.
Yeah, we're starting really small. Where we hope to launch in January 2026.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully we can start with, funding, little projects, $2,000 or $3,000 here and there. I would love to kind of like have people that would love to go to a place like Journey Forward that's so expensive. I would love to donate a couple sessions there, or a couple sessions with like a private PT or OT, different things like that. But my vision, because I usually have the vision and then my family's like, oh my God, here she comes again. But the vision.
We love you, girl.
I know. But I think the vision for Stroke of Light is much bigger than that. I would love to start like retreats for caretakers, start taking care of them. And even if we could get, like, I'm in real estate, so I love my real estate.
Yeah.
So I would love to get a property where, like at the Cape. I have properties at the Cape, but my sister still hasn't been there because it's not accessible. So I would love to have like properties on the Cape or anywhere where people could travel to and just enjoy a vacation.
Yeah.
Take your loved ones to the beach. And I would love to pay for that through the foundation. Those are my dreams, my aspirations. Those are the big dreams.
Yeah.
But that's for later.
Yeah, it'll come.
Yeah.
And I know when she starts feeling more like herself and stuff, hopefully that can be something that she can have access to. It's hard seeing someone go from, I want to be here, I want to be there, I want to be there, to not really wanting to do that anymore. So it's like, this foundation I have high hopes for that people are going to love. And I know that it's going to become big with the love and support from our friends and family that we already have.
Right.
So it's like, if you already did, the Hike for Jenny Foundation and raised that much, imagine when you go bigger. So keep having the faith that you do. And Jenny girl, if you're watching, one day that's going to be you. One day you're going to be on the hike. One day we're going to be in the Cape, something like that. But yeah. So thank you, first of all, for sharing your story, and to not only me, because I feel like I'm also learning, but also to everybody that's watching here. You guys are not alone with any of your struggles, whether if it's someone that you have a disabled family member or a friend or anything like that, or you're struggling with like health issues, you are not alone. I know, like, with everything happening in this world, that seems a bit discouraging. It seems very uncertain of what your future could look like. But transforming that pain into purpose really starts with you and your mindset. And before we wrap up, I do have some 5 rapid questions that I want us to answer real quick.
Oh, boy.
They're not that bad. I think.
Okay, girl.
They're not bad at all. They're not juicy. I just feel like these are questions that were really you. They were really you. So I was just like, these are cute. So, favorite Disney character and why?
Oh, girl. Ariel.
Why? So how about you finish, and then I'm gonna say what we talked about the other day.
I know, but I just love her. She's so cute. And she's just like the daughter, and her voice is so beautiful. And yeah, girl, that's me. That is my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was so funny because I was talking to her daughter, Victoria, and did she say that Ariel was her favorite character? No, but I was like, girl, why do you like somebody that left her whole family to be with a man? Because I said my favorite one is Princess Tiana. Because she is that girl. She's a hardworking woman. She didn't want no man, but that just so happened to be it. But Ariel, she left her family to be with a man.
I mean, but all Disney princesses have some trauma. Like, okay, maybe Ariel left her whole family for a man, but why Tiana acting like she don't need no man?
Cause she don't.
Oh, yeah, there's some trauma there. Let's dig into that.
Anyways, this was supposed to be rapid.
Okay. Next.
Best thing about being a mom.
I don't know. I love being a mom. I
was about to say, I don't know.
I think having like someone love you unconditionally. I know we have our parents, but the love that a child gives you is just so different.
They love you.
They do. No, but it's just, that's the best part, because I know like they and that mutual understanding, that like that unconditional love is both sides. Like, I love you guys, you love me. Like, it's just, I love being a mom.
You're
It's
such
hard.
a good mom.
Thank you.
What's the most challenging thing about real estate that isn't talked about enough?
Ooh. That money comes so fast.
Money comes so fast?
Yeah, people think like, oh, you buy a house, you got money. It's like, yeah, no, it ain't like that.
Guys, we broke.
And trust me, I have a bunch of properties. I'm broke. We just cute.
Anyways.
We just cute broke. Broke, eh?
Okay, girl, your millennial is showing. Favorite childhood memory with Jenny?
Damn, I mean, my Disney days with Jenny.
That used to go to Disney?
All the time, girl. I mean, if there's a Disney adult, there's usually a Disney parent behind them.
Who was the Disney parent?
My dad.
Really?
Yes. My dad, right? It's shocking, but my dad. I mean, my mom loved it too. However, I think my dad, like, I feel like in a marriage, not that the dad has more, like, say, but, like, us women tend to be like, yeah, whatever papi says, whatever daddy says, it's fine. But, like, in that marriage, like, it was like my dad always initiated the things, and he would always make sure that we went to Disney.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how they did that, but I literally have videos. And my dad was the ride guy. Like, he's the one that one day left my mom. She fainted. You know, the lines at Disney are long. He went to the line. He was like, oh, no, she fainted, but we got to ride this ride, the Little Mermaid ride. And then we came back and took care of my mom, because he's the one that rode the rides with us.
So what the hell?
Yeah, girl.
So your mom, so you just left my aunt there?
Yeah. We had to ride that ride, girl. After waiting 2 hours,
Titi.
she had a nerve fainting. Just kidding. I mean, we did take care of her, you know. We got to I'm like, Poppy, mommy fainted. He's like, that's fine, we're next. We literally rode the ride and then went to take care of my mom.
Yo, that's crazy. Divorce, babe, divorce. Anyways, best advice you've ever gotten?
Love first.
Ooh. From who? And
So,
why?
When I got married, just like 16 years ago, my husband's aunt literally put that in my card. And she put always love first. And I never knew where that came from, right? But now that I'm a little more into my faith, that is in the Bible. So it's always been there, and I've always had that stuck in my head. Like, always love first. Because in any relationship, if you're the one to love first, I feel like everything else falls into place.
Girl,
this was good.
It was too good. Again, I can't say it enough, but thank you for taking the time to be here today. I had a great time talking with you, as always. But this time it's actually recorded because we be like, girl, this is our own podcast right here. The amount of times that we be talking, we be like, this is good.
Yeah. Some things we can't say on camera, though.
No.
Sorry,
guys.
You gotta be family.
But today's episode was, like I said, a very personal one for both you and I, especially you. Like I said earlier, transforming that pain into purpose is easier said than done. Not everybody has the blessings that we may have, probably doesn't have the resources that we may have, or even the knowledge that we may have. So, but it can be done if you allow yourself to believe it. And I really do like the love first advice. I think when you lead with love, it's like you're being your authentic self and you're showing up as yourself. And it's important to always show up on days even when you don't feel like it. Because in the middle of grief, it's like, where do we go? How do I do it? Like, I don't want to do it. But I think that's what's so important about today's conversation. And some takeaways is, you know, obviously, like, if you're a faithful person, if you're not, it's okay. I think just having faith in yourself is what's most important. And I know you said this was always your calling, but some people may not even know what their calling is. So I can't even imagine for people who don't know what their purpose is in life. But there's things like these that happen in our lives that kind of lead us to our purpose, you know? So I want to...
If I can interrupt you really
Go ahead.
quickly. This has taken a long time to really know my purpose.
Yeah.
I'm older. So it takes time and practice.
Yeah.
So it's not something that just comes.
Right. But that's why it's important to show up every day.
Exactly.
Because 3 years later, and it's still a work in progress, you know, for Jenny herself too.
Yeah.
And for you being a sister. But it got easier over time.
Right.
When we first started, you know, in her recovery process, it was not easy. And we probably didn't have a lot of hope. Not probably, we didn't. But now it's like, okay, we know what it's like. We know the routine. Now it's important that we show up with our best foot forward. So thanks, Jess, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, girl. I'm surprised we didn't cry.
Proud of you.
And I'm proud of you.
I know. Thank you.
But thank you all for tuning in today. It means the world that you are here. Transforming pain into purpose is actually a very, very important conversation that many people may not know about. So if you haven't already, please go like, comment, share, subscribe to the Sincerely Giuliani channel. And always tell a friend to tell a friend, because you and I, we always have a lot to talk about. Okay. See y'all next time. Sincerely Giuliani. Thank you.
Good job, girl.
Clock it.
That was great.
I'm surprised with it. Cheers. One time
Cheers.
for my girl, Jenny.